Hello. Today we are playing Battle for Wesnoth, a free-to-play strategy game with a couple of friends of mine, McJiggy and Grubba. Battle for Wesnoth is a personal favorite of mine, even though it causes unbelievable pain. But Brett, what is Battle for Wesnoth? Well, it's everything you could ever want. Strategy, army building, factions. So to start, we loaded up a free-for-all where we would pick our factions, with Grubba picking the dwarves, McJiggy picking the celestials, and I picking the vampires. Starting off, we have our map, which consists of our castle to spawn units in, our camp to house the units we spawn, but most importantly, villages. Villages are going to be extremely important because they produce gold when you liberate them. And armies are, expensive. So we begin by building up some of our units. I went with an overall range of units of a melee unit known as a fledgling, a ranged magic user, the Blood Apprentice, the tank man named the Hulk, and a thin blood for a good mix of melee and range attacks with his bow. Afterwards, I sent my leader to capture a village to, procure some lost funds. From this point, the objective was simple: move units forward to liberate villages, purchase units, and conquer, which is where we see our first opponent, McJiggy.
Just drink some blood thickener, silly.
McJiggy has cheap units that push out a lot of damage but can be squishy since those knights-looking ones, the Crusaders, are very limited in ranged attacks. To supplement this fault, he has a unit called the Light Spirit that does heavy ranged attacks and turn the adjacent space to that unit into a neutral or daytime space. Which is really bad for me because I play chaotic units that fight better at night, so he makes me fight 25% worse if I enter that zone. So to put it plainly, he's cheating. However, he immediately messed up and made an error that would cost him the round. He only purchased one Light Spirit to support his units and went on the offensive when he should have played defensively. Not only that, but he also began his assault when it was turning night, which is where my army fights best. So within the first round of combat, he lost his entire front. This gave me the opportunity to liberate his towns, acquire his revenue, and march towards his capital, leading to a hefty sum of war funds in the process. McJiggy then devolved into throwing out baseless accusations and insults.
I think it's because your factions are overpowered. I think it's you guys are getting carried.
Seamus, 3 out of my 4 dwarvish units are in the base game.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, McJigglesworth was dealing with an additional threat, Grubba. So I snuck around and started to liberate Grubba's villages for my own gain. With both of them distracted fighting each other, it gave me the perfect opportunity to eliminate them both, as they are threats and they are weakened. Grubba attempted to hold McJiggy's former capital, but he could not withstand the might of our army and massive war fund. In the end, it would ultimately allow an heavily weighted victory.
You will know when your opponent uses XP bank.
Flesh artisan.
It's me, the meat sculptor.
It's me. I like meat.
I also like meat. I'm a meat enjoyer. Oh, I've been defeated.
Round 2. We decided to do another round since McJiggy had made such a fatal error and essentially was wiped from the first round. I played as the Holy Order, a faction based on the Holy Roman Empire with a Crusader Knight as one of the leaders, or a man with a whip. I've never played this character, so it was a dice roll if I play it well. See what I did there? Because of the RNG. And so, McJigglesworth chose the Steel Hive, another heavily broken faction consisting of floating robots that can knock you back or zap you into oblivion. They can also level up quickly and regain all of their health. Grubba chose the Freesarians, the lizard people with many pointy sticks getting ready to stab you just for fun. In this scenario, my goal is to push out far enough to clean some villages, but hold with a defensive line against the other player's offensive forces until I can initiate an assault.
Mr. Wite, you am out of the myth. You more cocainer.
More cocaine.
No man, I just wish Los Pollos Hermanos was a real restaurant. So I want some meth chicken.
That chicken sounds like it would be good.
I like meth. I like chicken.
Oh, interesting.
Win-win. That was unfortunate.
Here we observe the enemy. Words are hard, but at least I'm safe inside my mind. Here we observe the enemy approaching. The might of our holy empire will crush them like the heretics they are, for we cannot be stopped. One of the main concerns at this point is ensuring one of the other players' faster units can't village rush from the side and lower our funds. As we attempt to prevent the Saurians and Steelhive from pushing onto our territory to try to hold out until everyone is meeting in the center, where everyone is a threat to each other. This moment is pivotal to our survival, a test of our strength. For now, we will hold in the center's villages, tree lines, and castles, causing the Saurians to have to attack me in less defensive terrain or force them to leave their fortified positions in silver spoons, allowing an opportunity to push and claim their defendable territory as our own, and leave them in the open. Like the worms after a rainy day. The worms.
Basically, if you step in the water, you're gonna die. If any of you step in the water, you're gonna die. Unlike piranhas, but the piranhas are robots that make human noises when they die.
The point of the steel cyber cone.
Broadcast. Adjacent mechanical units do 25% more damage in battle. Plus, it has 1 XP to hit level 1 from level 0, and once it levels up, which is basically guaranteed if you don't one-round KO it, exactly like that, it gets the knockback thing. So I can attack, and it has an 80% chance to hit, and if it hits, it ends combat right there. If I hit that attack, you don't get to damage it in return, and it pushes you away 1 space. It is broken. It is a broken unit. All that needs to happen is I just need to keep it safe through 1 combat, which I failed to do right there. I could have given it an XP point. I should have given it an XP point. I just thought I could get away with forcing you to do a combat against it, but I couldn't. Oh, that motherfucker's lawful. He looks like a chaotic unit.
And I didn't have to single attack and retaliation. Yay!
Let's not forget about our friends to the north, McJiggy, with his band of Steelhive units. I made a mistake while fighting Grubba, that I had the majority of my units in the center, where McJiggy had not been contesting, causing my village guards to become outnumbered by McJiggy's units. They will have to hold until the center can be claimed, and then I can send our reinforcements to assist. With the center claimed now, and both Grubba's army and leader nearly eliminated, I could begin sending reinforcements north to counter the Steelhive's push.
Not doing well.
Oh no, you definitely have the advantage on me, though.
Do I? Because I don't know if you noticed, but I'm on the fucking defensive, dude. I surrounded that one guy. Oh, hello, motherfucker.
Hi!
That would explain the purple village over there.
Oh, what the? Okay. All was going well in the battle. Soon I would be able to push back Big Jiggy's forward line until suddenly, Grubba's game crashed, which he couldn't return to the session, causing a soft lock as it would mean his term could never end.
Here, I'll set side to idle, and I'll not end my turn. See if you can rejoin.
I'm not gonna lie, I have 1 unit.
And it has 2 health.
Just fucking play it.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, now that I've set it to idle, how do I set it to not idle?
Why was it my turn?
Well, it's going to be.
Did Brandon, like, miss an attack or something?
Well... Oh, that's, like, actually your last unit, like, your leader is dead.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
leader is dead.
I didn't know your leader was dead.
Yeah.
So like any respectable leader, we decided on draw, so we could load up the next game and show the conquest mode. As you can see, even though we agreed on a mutual draw, based on our immense forces joining, we would have won this engagement.
Okay. So, we'll call it a draw then.
What did you have?
2 kills, 7 losses. No, not Quinta's desktop.
The Holy Order would grow into an unstoppable force.
Nah, you're just a sore winner.
What? No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
How did you even get in here?
Doesn't matter.
But that doesn't.
No, it
that
doesn't matter.
make sense.
It doesn't matter.
That
Shut
doesn't make
up.
sense. How did you?
Shut up.
How did you?
Shut up!
Conquest, while relatively new, it is overall my favorite game mode. And so, McJiggy chose the Steel Hive again, grub out the monster faction, and I the Deep Elves. Don't ask why I did it. It's fun. It's a fun and strong faction. It essentially takes an entire 180 from the standard Battle for Wesnoth setup, where each side has the same amount of gold, and your goal is to push the offensive as fast as possible. That's not the case in Conquest. Instead, the enemy AI has an absurd amount of gold to throw a mass amount of units at you, and your goal is to hold out defensively until they can't send any more units. Then you'll go on the offensive and kill their leader. However, each round of Conquest you win, the enemy AI will grow by 1 additional AI side, stronger units, and more gold to purchase them. So we spawned and the enemy was located in the southern part of the map, with me in the north, McJiggy between me and the enemy, and Grubba to the east, making McJiggy the primary target, causing him to hold against an impending force while I can assist and Grubba push through their eastern front. I start by recruiting units of various weapon and attack types, as we do not yet know what faction the enemy is, causing confusion and discomfort as if we were sitting on a wet car seat. I began moving my forces south and Grubba's to the east. McJiggy just needs to hold below his castle walls. Wait, no, why are you pushing? We have gone over this several times now in this video alone. Don't push! As you can see, he's playing this round like I do in Baldur's Gate. Wrong. Now the clock is ticking, with the enemy moving forward with their factions of Caliphite and Undead, McJiggy farther away. I needed to move. And if any of our 3 leaders perish, the game is over. We finally reached McJigglesworth and the enemy. It would be a long fight, constantly going back and forth exchanging blows, eliminating units, and losing them at the same time. With McJiggy losing some of his units, the main brunt of the force, I had to deal with. We experienced heavy resistance. We were considering we could hold out as long as Grubba won his. Eventually we would be able to whittle down their numbers and break their lines, potentially leveling up units in the process. We would march on to the enemy territory, show them the error of their imperial ways. On to the next round of our conquest. And now we have to do the same thing as before, but against two AI factions that can spawn both level 1 and level 2 units, causing bigger strain on our forces. Additionally, morale was low. Grubba really did not enjoy the monster faction. They kind of suck. This faction is absolute bottom of the barrel, where the only things he enjoyed about it is that he is a Dami Mommy dragon from Shrek, and having fire elementals to simulate major forest fires, which just actually went far better than we actually expected. But overall, when only 2 units, one of them being your leader, is good, that doesn't mean that the faction is good. And now, we are going to be split off from each other. There is an enemy between McJiggy and I, and another one between McJiggy and Grubba. Grubba is right above me, so I don't have to be worried about being flanked from the north, giving him the same reprieve from the south. The issue is, both McJiggy is far to the west, and the enemies are located extremely close to me and Grubba, though the enemies will still send units to assault McJiggy to ensure he cannot push forward to assist us, nor we to him. We have our fight cut out for us, but we will prevail. We must, be it through numerous, questionable tactics that could easily make war criminals cry. Grubba may have done some things during this match that would make even the devil himself weep. After having recalled my previous units and spawning new ones, now all that was left before we begin the fight is seeing who our victim is. Huzzah! We are fighting the undead. Their skeletons would be perfect to fight, as they are weak to our meaty impact hammers and powerful arcana. Their sorcerers don't even have a melee attack. Pray tell how you can defeat me. And so we posted up, like soldiers in the trenches ready to hold back against the enemy, keeping our guns down and our boots up. Wait a minute. Our guns up and our boots down. We were ready to push back against the unstoppable force. Will this be our last stand, or a step towards greatness? Only time will tell as we exchange axe to sword, magic to magic, sweat to sweat. At one point I decided to split off my forces to prevent them from capturing my villages, as I would need the gold. This was not a good idea in the long run. At least Grubba could hold against the orcs with his impressive forest fires, burning the enemy every which way he could. It was like Moses parting the Red Sea, but opposite. Remember when I split my forces? Perhaps I was a bit foolish, and didn't realize that I sucked this game as well. I would lose many units. I felt like a level 1 goblin. The cause of this error is because the enemy AI has now targeted enemies from a different direction or path, actually causing them to now move south when they typically wouldn't have. McJiggy is now fighting the undead to the south. His forces can be unbelievably strong. This enemy is nothing more than an XP farm for him. His units, as mentioned before, can knock the enemy back, allowing him to gain ground, but I suppose they would prefer to be knocked back than knocked up by him. We have finally broke through the enemy lines, giving us an almost zero resistance path straight to one of the enemy's capitals. We would still go through a few rounds of combat before being able to kill him. However, the end result would be worth it. Now that one enemy has been eliminated, we can support Grubba, or at least provide him reinforcements if needed, but it appears his flash and burn tactics are working. We had no doubts. This is actually where the game progresses a lot faster. With half of the enemy leaders down and no way for that side to recruit units, we can travel quite far. The thing that truly makes this game take so long in Conquest is the mass amount of units to remove before fighting the leaders. Grubba was able to push through his adversary's lines and move towards the enemy capital. In the meantime, McJiggy was able to flank and assault the northern leader's forces, and himself, claiming victory for our team. We decided to end the session here since, well, Grubba didn't really enjoy the monster faction. We had also been playing for over 3 hours at this point, so please appreciate how much this video was cut down with that gameplay. But we had a lot of fun. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to show your support any way you can or would like to. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your time or how to do something. You're your own person. But I do hope to see y'all in the future. Bye-bye.